Hi, this is Ashley. I want to talk about today the importance of building rapport again. I want to share with you 5 things that you can do to build outstanding rapport with your patients. One of my favourite books of all time is this book here called How to Influence and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. I happened to work for Dale Carnegie Training for about 10 years. I was very fortunate, in fact, also to meet Mrs. Dorothy Carnegie. But here's 5 things you can do then to build outstanding rapport with your patients. The first thing is this: become genuinely interested in your patients. Your patients don't care what you know until you first demonstrate that you care. If you become genuinely interested in your patients, they're more likely to become genuinely interested in you. A great example of this actually for myself was at a recent party, and I got to meet a friend of a friend, and we were chatting for about an hour. And I have to tell you, during that 1-hour conversation, I don't think I spoke for more than a minute. In other words, I was asking lots of questions and found lots of information about this other person. This other person went back and told my friend that I was actually the most interesting person she's ever met. So when you become genuinely interested in people, you can make friends and you become interesting. The second thing you can do to build great rapport with people is to really listen. I'm going to talk a lot about listening in future videos, but there's many types of listening that you can have. You can either listen to respond, where you're listening to respond is when you are waiting for a gap so that you can fill it. Or the other type of listening is when you are genuinely interested. You are listening to understand. So become an outstanding listener. Of course, the third thing is smile. And because you're in the teeth business, always make sure also that you have nice, white, straight teeth. The fourth thing, one of the best ways of getting people to like you instantly is to give somebody sincere appreciation. Is to praise them. But you must make sure that you do this make sure that you're doing this sincerely. Because if it doesn't come across sincerely, it comes across as false. So if you give praise or tell somebody something they've done well or what you like about, maybe it's an item of clothing that they're wearing that you really like, or maybe a haircut, do it sincerely. It's a great way of building rapport. And the fifth thing is this: in any consultation you have with a patient, make sure that they do a great deal of the talking. The more talking that they do, the more that you will learn. The more you learn, the more they'll be able to understand your client's problems and they'll be able to give them the exact solution that they're looking for. So there's a quick 5 techniques or 5 quick strategies you can do to build great rapport with your patients. But one of the books I really suggest that you should read is How to Influence and Influence People. In that book, there's 36 human relation principles, and it does exactly what it says on the tin. It talks about how to influence and influence people. It's a really brilliant book to read. I was in my garden only last month, making a few phone calls in the garden. It was a beautiful summer's evening. I had a glass of wine in my hand. I finished making my phone calls. And I very quickly downloaded my emails on my iPhone. And as I was